he just went low. He's in his head. He's in his head. He's open. His head wide open. Cracked open in the face.
Using Goofy as the first card in the slide. So all the slides have different combinations to activate. Oh, we get a Simba card because I don't think he got the key of guidance. He didn't give that to us. But yeah, so now that door disappears. So we won't be able to go back into that room. Obviously it's only plot related, so we didn't have to really do much about it, thankfully. Oh, we can actually strike those. Oh, and there was a card in there. There's a 5. So let's press the start menu and go into the decks. So now we can actually, I don't think we have the tutorial yet, but as you can see on the right side, near the deck number of cards, we have CP. So if you remember when we did our first level up, I raised our CP level to 300. That is because it actually works to build your deck of cards. So ultimately you can add new cards to your deck as well, but obviously they have different values. So in terms of CP, it makes it very different. So to get a really good deck, obviously you're going to have a deck of 99 cards. That is the most you can have in a single deck. In fact, actually, you can see my slight list as well. But obviously, Blizzard and Blizzaga in there, Curaga and Cura in there. We've got Proud Roar, Magic, Goofy Tornado, Goofy Smash, Wild Crush. So we've got a few slides already with the cards that we've got. But we can add these to our decks. But as you can see, I've gone over, so I have to remove particular cards. Now each particular card has a different CP value in there. It's not ideal. So I've got 30. So if I put that there, I need to remove that'll get me under. So you can make 3 different decks out of this. Ultimately, you can make 3 different decks at a time. Obviously, if you get your CP high enough, you can go up to 99 cards in a particular deck. So we're just going to leave it at that. Ultimately, our deck at the moment, it's not as important to equip things now. Now, a lot of the cards that you will get are random, and the values of those cards will also be random as well. But we have different ones. So we have Strong Initiative, which, as it does tell you at the bottom before you use a card, but attack cards actually do, I think it's supposed to do double damage in this. It's funny, with that card we turn into Simba for whatever reason. I don't know why. So yeah, that's the strong initiative coming in clutch there. So ultimately, our attacks do double damage. For this particular room. So all the rooms have different abilities with each of the particular cards that we can use to open the room. There's a whole bunch of them, so we're eventually going through pretty much all of them. Oh, keep going the wrong way. So that was a 9, so if it was a 0 card, I would have been broken there. So yeah, as you can see, some of them are not particularly slights. This might be a little bit overkill. Though shadows can do that. They can avoid Goofy Smash, obviously, by going into the ground. Now your deck will always be the way that it's set up, as you set up in your deck menu when you press start. The configuration of that will not change, so it will start out the same. So if I start with a 7, like the 7 Kingdom Key card, it will start with that every single time. So it gets into a situation where you can equip it to put some lower level cards in at the start, and then obviously have some at the end. I thought it was Double Thunder then, but it was Thunder and then Cura. Oh, that's what I should say Cura, not Cura. Cura is a different ability. Gonna raise CP. Though I think with slights in particular, it doesn't always give you a slight on each particular level. Sometimes it will give you a slight when it is available for you to actually do that. So yeah, obviously the higher the card value in particular when it comes to card numbers, the more CP it will cost for you to actually use that that particular card in your deck. So it's very important when you are customizing your deck that you look at each of the particular values of each of the cards and try to make your deck as good as possible. Just trying to get all those Moogle points, because I know that some of those would have disappeared if I wasn't careful. Oh, there was a card in there. Another Kingdom Key. Each particular world will have a different card. Obviously, with Travis Town, it's obviously the Kingdom Key. I missed the shadow, but got the Red Nocturne, which was great. But yeah, for some of these rooms in particular, they make it a little bit better in grinding some of the enemies. So obviously we're not getting a lot of XP right now because we're only going against shadows, against like Red Nocturnes and stuff like that so far. So see, now if I hit the Heartless with that, I believe that would have confused their controls. So they would have been throwing attacks randomly in the wrong direction and stuff like that. We also can get hit by that as well, so that also can affect us. I think there are Heartless that actually do activate that type of thing. So we're going to be very careful in terms of combat to make sure we don't get hit by something as like that. I like that some of these ladders are still broken as hell. So we got another... So we'll go with 0. Oh, we can't actually use a 0. Damn. Because I don't really want to use like one of my really, really high numbered cards. It's the thing. But yeah, there's obviously one that, as you can see, with the stagnant space, it's Heartless moving slower. You've got, if you have friends in the particular world that you go into, because we won't always, a friend card will appear at the start of battle. Only a few Heartless appear. Drowsy and easy to ambush. There's all sorts of different abilities. Black Fungi, kind of want to use that one actually. Martial Waking. Obviously attacks are more effective. It's a bit different than Strong Initiative, where the actually it's where you're striking first. It deals heavy damage to Heartless. So actually, striking first is actually really important. Excuse me. There. Sneeze. So hitting them and striking first is definitely better. So magic cards are more effective. Item cards are more effective. There's a lot of these cards in particular. So we'll go with the Black Room for the Key of Guidance, which is the next card. I think there's 3 cards in each particular world when it comes to the like plot important cards. Obviously we have the card of beginning, the Key to Beginnings, Key of Guidance, and I forget the last one. So yeah, a lot of the stories in the particular worlds will be about memories, friendship, the heart, and the way that obviously the heart, in terms of the Kingdom Hearts, connects like a chain of memories. Like they actually will, someone will say it later on in the game. So we'll get the usual, oh, they said the thing. We had a tutorial with Leon, so he would know that we would be able to fight. Sora. And the Key of Truth, which is the last one. Obviously it has the Heartless symbol on it, so we know what that means. It's going to be very bad. 6 or higher. So we'll go with Martial Waking. And once we use these cards, they will disappear from use. So you have to be very careful on which cards you will actually get to use in this. So as you can see, the blue numbers mean that obviously Martial Waking is in effect. our card abilities in terms of attacks are a lot better. I guess that the Simba card falls, like, technically is a summon magic, so it falls under magic. But yeah, each one of our card values will go up. I think it might only be just one value in particular, though I think we usually start with a 7 card, so it might be 2. It might depend on the card in particular. The higher cards might go up by 2, and small ones might only go up by 1. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the breakdown is. I'd have to research that. So yeah, be very careful when hitting things in particular in the world, especially cards, because if you go into a battle, you will not pick those cards up. There's one thing that's very important. That's why, obviously, with Moogle points, you want to try and pick up as many as possible as well. So yeah, more than one Goofy card will go into Goofy Tornado instead of Goofy Smash. So getting multiple Goofy cards will give you Goofy Tornado. Level 2 obviously is 2, and I believe level 3 is obviously 3 of them. So yeah, so we can't use a slight in particular. I think when it comes to particular values in terms of levels, I think it's particular numbers that obviously you will get a slight. So once you're able to get a slight, you most likely can get it, but you won't get another one for a little while. I think it just depends on the level. We're gonna raise HP. That's how I ended up doing it in the original game, when I originally played this game as well on the PS3 version. I put up CP and then put up health. I heard that obviously, I think it eventually got to a situation where my CP was running a bit all over the place, so I probably wanted to do a little bit more CP than health. Oh, then we got a 0 Martial Waking. Ooh, Cura card. I will take Cura. I will take that. But yeah, obviously the room size will be different. I guess if I hit him and then I would have run into him, he probably would have been okay. Would have been able to show off the fact that he was confused. Now with slides in particular and stocking cards, one thing that they didn't say is that the first card in the stack will disappear from your deck. So when you reload, you will actually get less cards in your deck in particular. The one thing that will bring it back is obviously item cards, like your potions and stuff like that will bring your cards back. But it is the only way that some of those slide cards will actually come back. So be very wary of that when you're building your decks as well, because it's very important that you don't want to lose too many cards from your deck so that you're reloading all the time in terms of like this reload rather than like an item card, because item cards obviously come in particular like with your high potions and stuff like that, but even like ethers, elixirs, all that type of stuff, very important in the game. Oh, we got another enemy card, a shadow card. We'll be getting those eventually. Some of those are rarer cards to get in this game, so we won't be getting them all the time, which kind of sucks, but each of the different enemy cards will have different abilities as well, which is great. So usually when you pick up your friend cards, it is very good to use them in slides in particular, like stocking and slides as your first card, because obviously you will eventually lose those cards, so it's not too bad that you do end up losing that particular card, because obviously you'll be picking them up in the field of battle all the time. Don't know how effective that would have been against the Red Nocturne, considering it's a fire. And obviously with Donald, obviously he does magic in particular. Sometimes he will end up using the wrong magic, because obviously he does magic at random. So when it comes to particular magic, sometimes he will actually throw out a magic that actually heals an enemy, which sucks. And I wish he wouldn't do it, but he does do that, and it does really hurt in boss fights. So obviously XP in this world, considering the early, obviously the early levels, is fine. Once we were getting higher and higher, obviously we were getting into, like, say you're looking at like level 20, level 30, level 40 onwards, it'll get harder and harder to level up, because obviously the levels in particular will take more and more XP. So that is something that you will have to focus on as well, and obviously using your cards effectively to make sure that you can get your level ups faster as well, in terms of defeating enemies and all that jazz. So now we have a particular card, so we have to use a green card. We'll actually use a 1, because actually it is a... We can use a 0 for that, but in particular sometimes it might ask for a particular green card, like a magic room card, like green card, a red card, or a blue card. We'll have to fulfill that particular requisite, prerequisite I should say. Ouch! Well, too late. Oh yes, so we get the first boss of the game, and it's guard armor. And it's funny, because this is actually the original design. If you remember back in my Kingdom Hearts 1 Let's Play when I did Final Mix, Final Mix had a different color for... I'm not sure if it was for Final Mix specifically, or whether it was the remaster, but guard armor had a different color. This is actually the original color. So obviously guard armor still in effect. It's still the same as it was back when we originally played against him in Kingdom Hearts 1. So ultimately, his limbs, we can actually hit him in the air. That is cool. Forgot that we could do that. That is awesome. So yeah, our potion card was a little bit low levels, low card value, so we didn't actually get it. And yes, cards will eventually disappear, so like your friend cards will disappear in the field of battle. There we go. Got the spike on that. That was beautiful. So yeah, we get those cards at random sometimes. They will obviously affect particular bosses and particular enemies by collapsing them, or like in Guard Armor's case, but obviously but yeah, Guard Armor obviously still the same as he ever was. In particular, yeah, we can get hit by that. Obviously, that was a 0. But yeah, now is the problem. Is reloading. Because obviously we've reloaded that much that we're now in a situation where see, now I got very lucky there, because that was a 0 and he could have broken that even. And we still get the slow-mo after beating a boss, which is great. Or like, yeah, usually a boss enemy. No level up this time though. And Guard Armor still does the same thing, where his helmet falls off. So literally, Guard Armor has lost like about, what, 5 or 6 hearts for the Heartless at this point. But we also, considering we beat him as a boss, we get him as a card as well. So we get him as an enemy card, which is great. I forget what ability that one actually does. But each of them are particularly useful, so we will have a look. It's a bit hard to explain, Sid. We're going to be here for like a couple of hours trying to explain it, so... And we get this track. Now this track, like this music track is very, very weird in particular, because this is not the only time in the series we actually hear this track. This track actually returns a lot over the course of the franchise. In particular, with Unchained Key and Union Cross and like the Key games. So talking about like the games that are set way in the past before the first Keyblade War. If you remember all the way back. With Kingdom Hearts Key, Unchained Key, Union Cross, Dark Road, all those particular games, even back cover. This track shows up a lot. And I mean, I really like the instrumentation of it because it's very foreboding. And especially in some of those moments that happen in Kingdom Hearts Key, especially with it around the Master of Masters in particular. We don't know, obviously, the Master of Masters and who he is. Obviously, that's future. That's not in this particular game or this particular story arc either. And Aerith is gone. So were we talking to Aerith this entire time? Or were we not? But yeah, so yeah, the future part of the time, like the franchise and hearing that song in particular. I mean, I like it. It's one of my favorite songs. Now I get Conqueror's Respite as well. Oh, I missed the attack. So they move around, so the Heartless are meant to move around slowly. I think maybe it might be in the field, in the rooms that we get. I'm not sure if it's in battle. I can't remember off the top of my head. And we did level up. So I can use Stun Impact now as a slight. We'll get that. So it's 3 attack types, attack cards of the same type, 20 to 23. Actually, there is a crown over there. Yeah, so you can see that they are slowed down in the field of play right now. Going a little bit over time, but that's fine. We are starting this Let's Play off, so it's, you know, it's going to be one of those things where we're going to try and control as much as possible our recording sessions and try to break things around. What the? Oh, that's yeah, it's a treasure room, right? Yeah, we won't be getting more of those until much later. That is a very rare card to get, so I love the fact that I jumped over the shadow just to do that, just to get the Moogle points. I like that. So yeah, so I think in the rooms, I think they're particularly slower. I don't know if they're slower in battle. I think they might be still the same speed. The Heartless in particular in these rooms. So if you do want to try and avoid Heartless as much as possible, you can escape the room if you don't want to fight particular enemies. See, it's funny because Guard Armor broke that, and that's a 5, so that's like right in the middle. So I'll run into him this time. So I think the effect wears, yeah, it eventually wears off, but I think with soldiers and stuff like that, they will attack, but they'll probably attack the wrong direction and stuff like that. They'll be very confused on what they're actually doing. So as I said with Donald and casting magic, say obviously the Blue Rhapsody, for example, right? Donald might use Blizzard. On the Blue Rhapsody, it will actually heal the Blue Rhapsody. So as you've seen just then, he threw fire at Red Nocturne, which obviously in turn made him recover health. This is very bad when it comes to boss fights, because Donald can do that in boss fights as well. Because some of the particular bosses that we will play will be obviously very proficient in a particular element in terms of magic. So him using something like fire on a fire enemy will heal a fire enemy. Blizzard with a blizzard enemy, like the blue rhapsodies, and you know, so on and so forth. It's one of those things that is very annoying. So I think in every one of particular worlds, I think there is an extra door to find the treasure room. But those treasure cards are very, very rare. A lot of these Conqueror's Respite rooms will give you Moogle points. Sometimes they'll give you cards as well, which will be very important. You won't get as much health. I think obviously after the boss fight, yes, you kind of do want health. But we got a save point here. Obviously after a boss fight, we will have a save point, which is great, because we don't always have to have a moment's reprieve card for that. But we're going to save here. So we're going to save, and we're going to leave it there for the first couple of episodes in the first session of Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. So ultimately, we'll be eventually playing more of this game. So when we come back, we've beaten Travis Town. We'll be leaving Travis Town through the door that's in front of us. And we'll be continuing on with the story. And obviously getting more cards and more of the story and more worlds in particular. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this session and these 2 episodes of Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. Originally for the PlayStation 2, but this is obviously via the 1.5 plus 2.5 HD remix for the PlayStation 3. But I'm playing it on the PlayStation 5, playing the PS4 version. This has been Mario Man Tales 100. You guys have a great day and night. And of course, take care.